We've been farming down here in Suffolk now for nearly 70 years. I've got one brother and two sisters all working in the business, and mum and dad are still very much involved. It's very much a family business.
The soil's really warmed up, isn't it?
McCain as a company work very closely with the farmers. It's important for the farmers that we have a good relationship, and some of the farmers that we're dealing with have dealt with the company for 40 years.
The principles of planting potatoes in the garden is very much the same as planting them in the field. We're just doing them on a larger scale. We do a thing called chitting to get the seed to start growing before it goes in the ground. So we put them into a shed, we put them in wooden trays, warm them up, and we start them growing. So when they're planted, they already have a small chit growing on them. The reason we're growing these potatoes here is we're on very sandy soil, which allows us to start very early on in the season. So here we are quite early in the year. We're not forcing the land. That way we can grow the crop earlier, and then we're ready for the crop to be harvested in August when the canes are ready for it. We've got to work with the weather, we've got to work with the environment, we've got to work with everything around us. And what we do is very visible as well. So we need to do it right, we need to do things properly, and we need to look after the environment. When we started growing the potatoes in the shed, we started the process of the growing. At that stage, they don't require water. Then we put them in the ground, and as they've started to grow, they grow the foliage. So they're growing the green top, and then when it starts using the sunlight is when it starts needing moisture. And the moisture is actually going into creating the potato, which you'll eat at the very end.
We make a pledge to our customers, be it wholesale and retail, that we can absolutely guarantee that we know where the potatoes are grown, what fields they were grown in, cultivation techniques applied to that crop, date of harvest, date of store. We have that pledge, and we keep that pledge to our customer base. It is important. The situation today is ideal. We've had wet, and we now have got glorious sunshine, and it's fairly still. So it's a mixture of water and sunshine in the right quantities. We're not asking for much, are we?
1, 2, 3. Nature plays a huge part. If we get rain, if it's very hot, if it's cooler, the crop's using less moisture. So we can use the scheduling on the computer, but there's nothing like getting into the field and actually having a look at the crop and seeing what it really needs. When you're looking at the field here now, you can see that it's actually ready for harvest, and you see that with your eye. You can then find out more by digging below it to see what's underneath. We're looking for numbers of tubers on the plant, size of tubers, but as things start to die back, you'll then start to look at dry matter. We test with a hydrometer reading, and once they get over 20% dry matter in the crop, we then know we're getting ready for harvest.
What we're doing here is we're bringing the potatoes back from the field, then they come into the hopper. When they come on the hopper, they're actually going over some coils. With the coils, that's just taking the first part of soil out.
We're taking out stones, anything that's the wrong size, the wrong shape, and maybe green or damaged. So if we've got green potatoes, we don't want to be creating green chips. The lorry that you see loading there is about 30 tonnes worth of potatoes. So we'll be looking to load between 5 and 10 of those a day at our peak loads. What we've been loading today has actually been really good. The quality's been great. When you see the crop being taken away in the loads today, it's a feeling that you've actually achieved something, and it's a real coming together of teamwork, and it's a success story really. It's been 15 weeks in the ground, in the making, but it's all the preparation that goes in before that. And it's not just myself that feels this, it's the guys that have been involved all the way through. There's a real ownership of what we're trying to do and what we're trying to achieve. McCain seem really happy with what we've done, so a successful round really for everybody involved.